Hi there, and welcome to this latest chat about dogs and puppies. My name is Maureen Brosnahan. I've been breeding and showing and training American Cocker Spaniels for more than 40 years under the registered kennel name of Clanagroe with the Canadian Kennel Club. I'm a lifetime member of the Canadian Kennel Club, and presently I'm Vice President of the American Cocker Spaniel Club of Canada. So I guess I'd like to spend the next few minutes just offering you a few tips on how to select a good breeder of purebred dogs. Most important is doing your research and knowing the key questions to ask. First of all, if you find a breed that you like and you're interested in, go to the national or the breed clubs for that breed. Check them out on Google. You can find them online, or you can even go to the CKC. They list all the breeds and you can start from there. Most of the time, these clubs will have a list of breeders on their website. In fact, it's a good place to start because reputable breeders will most likely be very active in their breed clubs. Also, most breed clubs will have a copy of the standard on their website. Take a good look through it, read it thoroughly. It gives you a good idea of the kind of dog that you might be interested in, their characteristics, the pluses and the minuses, big dog, little dog, and take a look at a lot of the photos of the good quality dogs. Therefore, you're having a good idea of what you can judge against. Look to contact more than one breeder, especially if your choice is a popular breed. It's good to compare notes. Reputable breeders will often have a waiting list for puppies, and so be prepared for that. Also, price is important, so see if you can find a range of what people are offering from one kennel to the other. You don't want to get ripped off, and it's good to know what the range of prices are within your breed. Now, when you contact a breeder, either by email or phone, here are a few questions to ask. First of all, ask how long they've been breeding. If they've been breeding for a good long time, it knows that you're going to know that they have a fair bit of experience. The other thing is ask if they show their dogs. Now, you may not be interested in a show dog, but if they are entering shows, it's obviously they're looking to ensure that the dogs they're producing and breeding meet the breed standards and are being judged on that example. And so they are active within that community. Ask if you can go and meet their dogs. If you go for a visit, ask if the dogs are raised in the house or in a kennel. If they do have a kennel, ask to see it. It'll tell you a lot about the conditions in which their dogs live. Now, if you see a variety of dogs, more than 2 or 3 different breeds being housed in one location, be very wary. You could have stumbled on a puppy mill. Now, if a breeder tells you they have a litter on the way or puppies on the ground, ask to see the parents. You may not be able to see both mom and dad because often what happens is breeders will send their girls away to the boy to be bred. So that boy may be living in a different province or state or even country. But they should be able to at least provide you with photos and a bit about the background of the dog and the paperwork as well. Now, one of the most important things is, of course, health checks. There are all kinds of health checks you can do and that good reputable breeders are doing. First of all, ask if they check their dogs for hip dysplasia and have their hips certified. OFA and PennHip are the 2 most reliable organizations, and they rate dogs' hips based on a standard of excellent, good, fair, and poor. Poor hips, especially in the larger breeds, could suggest that there might be a problem with hip dysplasia. And if you get into that, the cost of having, a 2 or a 3 or a 4-year-old dog going through major surgery is pretty prohibitive, and there could be some long-term implications for that. The other question to ask is about eyes. Have the adults, the mom and the dad, had annual eye checkups, which are very common in almost all breeds. These are things where they can actually check for things like juvenile cataracts, progressive retinal atrophy, which is a common problem. There can be all sorts of things specific to breeds, and good breeders are doing annual eye checks on their dogs as well. And the other thing is there are a lot of times where there are actually now DNA markers for a lot of these things. So once the puppy is on the ground, they can be tested for a lot of these things with the DNA marker. And it's a really, really good way. Thank goodness we've got some of these DNA markers, not all of them, but we still have to do annual checks. Another common thing to look for are thyroid problems. If a dog has been screened for thyroid and it's clear, that's great. If there is a history of some thyroids, you can be looking at skin issues, ear problems generally present, and they can be cropping up as chronic issues, which can be pretty high maintenance down the way. Most importantly is, don't just take a breeder's word for it. Ask to see the paperwork. Ask to see copies of these certifications, of the clearances, and are that they're doing them regularly and annually. Other things to ask about is ask about epileptic seizures. This does run on some lines, and it can be pretty scary. Allergies. Unfortunately, that's quite common in a lot of purebred dogs now, and if it's present in the line, it can be high maintenance. Other things to be careful of: if there are puppies on the ground and a breeder wants to sell you a puppy at 6 weeks old, I would say politely refuse. It's much, much too young for puppies to be away from their mom. I don't let my puppies go until at least 10 to 12 weeks, and the earliest a puppy should leave the litter is about 8 weeks, because they need that time with mom. They need the time for socialization, to learn some of their manners. Placing a puppy too early also stresses out their immune systems, along with being overly vaccinated at one time. New food, new home, all this all at once is not a good combination for a too young a dog. Don't feel like you're a softie and go for the kind of little guy in the corner that's hovering or shivering or that in the corner. That's not necessarily a good sign. It's often maybe the fearful puppy, and that may not be the best one for you in your circumstance. Don't be afraid to ask for names and phone numbers and contact information for people they've already placed puppies with. It's a good way to check on them. Have people that have had a puppy from a particular breeder for 3, 4, 5 years. Have they run into problems? Was the breeder there to follow up with them for any questions or concerns that may have come up? Good breeders will be there to help you through the life of your puppy, and they should expect the least of that. Also, most good breeders will take a dog back if life circumstances change or something happens. They will either do their very best to help you rehome the dog or take the dog back as well. Finally, don't be put off too much if a breeder asks you a lot of questions about your circumstances. Do you have a young family, an older family? How active are you? Do you have a fenced yard? These are all really important questions. And frankly, a breeder that asks a prospective puppy person a lot of questions is good, because it means that breeder is interested in making sure that that puppy is going to the right home. And finally, owning a dog is a long-term commitment. Most dogs live good, healthy lives until they're at least 15, perhaps even longer, depending on the size and the breed of the dog. It's a big commitment and not an inexpensive one, between food, grooming, and vet costs. So it's really important that you do your research and that you are prepared. Good luck and happy hunting for your new puppy.